With more than 415 partner agencies distributing food to the public in 22 counties, the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan is the food source for people in need. Our services impact over 330,000 people each year. More than 1,200 mobile pantry, produce, and nutrition trucks are delivered each year. These trucks provide food for nearly 400 people at each distribution. A mobile food pantry was generating quite a crowd. Volunteers hope to feed up to 300 families with everything from fresh produce to staple foods.
It's all good food. It's food that I would purchase going to a normal, everyday grocery run. People they're just in need, and they need some practical needs met, and we're happy to do that for them.
Children's feeding programs throughout the school year and the summer feeding program in June, July, and August offer meals for kids at risk of hunger. Children who may have limited access to food in the home enjoy nutritious meals freshly prepared in the food bank's production kitchen. Each year, more than 500,000 meals are provided through these youth feeding programs. The school pantry program is operating in 17 schools and impacts families in 6 counties. Often set up like a small grocery store inside the school, these pantries allow students to take what they need to supplement what they have at home.
I'm very excited. It's a good cause. We need it here. The kids can go in, grab something to drink, something to eat, they can get on the bus and leave.
The Backpack program provides meals for children on the weekends when school's not in session and access to food may be limited in the home. It's aimed at helping elementary students enrolled in the state's free or reduced price lunch plan. The program operates from the Food Bank's Hunger Solutions Center in Flint. The Backpack program is one of the largest of its kind under the Feeding America banner, with kids from 22 mid-Michigan counties on board. The donor-driven program sends home breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks to kids who receive free and reduced lunch.
And it's a big deal. There's more than 48 kids here that could really use the bag. They struggle over the weekend, and some of them don't have food to eat over the weekend. So this is going to make sure that they eat and they come back to school and they're ready to learn on Monday.
The Senior Box program provides senior citizens with a 50 to 60 pound box of pantry staples and personal care items each month to help supplement their fixed, often limited incomes.
It's just a treat to open it. You're kind of like a kid at Christmas. What in the world's in there this month, And you're just so thankful to have it.
Partnering with organizations to feed the hungry, we advocate and build a community solution to a community problem. The Food Bank distributes more than 26 million pounds of food each year through a network of partner agencies. The agencies vary in size and service models, but the Food Bank works with each and every one of them to ensure that nutritional foods are available for community members who need them. This includes increasing the amount of fresh produce available and distributing more than 11 million pounds of fruits and vegetables throughout Eastern Michigan. The Salvation Army gave away a truckload of fruits and vegetables to Bay City. People were able to get fresh tomatoes, cabbage, bread, and prepackaged salads. They tell us there is a need this year greater than previous years. The East Side Soup Kitchen in Saginaw got a special delivery on Friday. Fresh produce, plenty of it, was delivered by the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan. About 12,000 pounds of fresh food was available for anyone that needed it. By leveraging an abundance of product from a multitude of sources, we are changing the face of hunger. Since 1994, America's letter carriers have collected food on the second Saturday in May to help those in need in their communities. Each year, countless local food banks and pantries receive donations from the NALC Food Drive. For years, ABC 12 has been supporting the Food Bank as part of the Spirit Squad School Promotions, broadcast every Friday morning during the school year. The students compete to see who can bring in the biggest donation of food and monetary contributions. The winner each year takes home the coveted Spirit Cup, which is awarded as part of the live finale. Since it began, the ABC 12 Spirit Squad has collected more than 5 million pounds of food, the equivalent of over 4 million meals for families in need. The Food Bank has several community partners, including local farms and grocery stores, that donate a significant amount of product for distribution. Since 2007, our store partners have donated more than 30 million pounds of food, including donations from about a dozen farm partners. The Food Bank has received over 42.7 million pounds of fresh donated produce. Miller Poultry delivered a truckload of chicken and chicken sausage to VG's in Fenton. The Food Bank of Eastern Michigan will distribute the poultry to Mid-Michigan families. It will provide more than 15,000 meals. A massive multi-ton donation of foods rich in protein is now on the shelves of the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan in Flint. The nation's largest union for food workers teamed up with some of the nation's largest food manufacturers to make it happen. The food includes 60 tons of beef, pork, chicken, ready-to-eat soups, and peanut butter. Hundreds of Flint families will eat a little healthier Wednesday and help fight off potential effects from lead exposure. The Food Bank of Eastern Michigan and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services teamed up to provide foods rich in calcium, vitamin C, and iron to neighborhoods across the city.
It's snowy outside, and it's a rough day, but we know that people are excited about being able to not only assist, as you see, but we have so many people that's come out to get the food because it's needed.
The Hunger Solutions Center opened in 2015. The goals for the building were simple: to feed more, to educate more, to engage more, and to support more. The plan to achieve these goals included increasing the distribution of nutritional foods and fresh produce, opening a production kitchen to prepare fresh, high-quality meals for kids' feeding programs, tripling the amount of volunteer space available for sorting food, providing a place for the community to gather for meetings and special events. More than a building, the Hunger Solutions Center offered a way to bring the community together by being part of the solution. No one could have anticipated the magnitude in which this vision would be fulfilled.
It's a dream come true for our community. It's the start of us changing the face of hunger.
The food bank will now be able to distribute around 35 million pounds of food every year. One of the main hubs where bottled water is being collected for Flint residents is the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan. From there, the water is distributed to community centers, local charities, and other places around town. The workload has increased tremendously due to the water crisis. It's not easy, but the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan is trying to handle both their regular duties and the extra loads coming from cases of bottled water that need to go out as fast as possible to Flint residents.
Operationally, this is really something new for the food bank to handle, 5 or 6 semi-loads a day. And so that is taking a big chunk of time, but it is so worthwhile, and we're able to get that right back out, usually within about 24 hours, to help people in the neighborhoods and communities that need it.
The Food Bank of Eastern Michigan got a surprise donation that will help them deliver water and food. Fiat Chrysler and the UAW gave the agency 2 Navistar trucks. The food bank fleet of trucks have been getting a workout, delivering water to Flint since the water emergency began. Food pantries on the east side of the state rely on the food bank, so the donation of the 2 trucks is appreciated.
We ended up getting the trucks at a really good price. UAW and FCA, which is Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, jointly purchased the trucks and delivered them here.
Each year, hundreds of volunteers visit the food bank and give thousands of hours of their time to check and sort food for delivery. During the height of the Flint Water Crisis, the Hunger Solutions Center did indeed see a tremendous influx of volunteers. More than 8,500 people worked over 65,000 hours to help ensure that food distribution continued to grow in spite of the necessity of getting water to Flint residents. Governor Rick Snyder is rolling up his sleeves to volunteer in Flint. He showed up at the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, where he worked side by side with volunteers filling up food boxes. Snyder got a tour of the facility that has been working around the clock to get people food and now water in Flint. Since the beginning of the water emergency in Flint, many people have donated thousands of bottles of water, but several people are making a different kind of donation on Friday. 8 people from a Chicago-based company called AbbVie heard that many of the people who volunteer at the food bank were needed to handle the donated water and that there weren't enough volunteers to pack the food boxes that people depend on. Responding immediately to the Flint water crisis, the food bank quickly became a leader in the community's recovery efforts. Throughout the Flint water crisis, the food bank served as a receiving and distribution hub for donations of water, lead-mitigating foods, and other supplies from across the country. Halo Burger, which started in Flint more than 90 years ago, has come up with a program that will make it easier for you to send money to the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan. That agency, in turn, will buy truckloads of fresh fruits and vegetables for those in need. They call it 12 Weeks to Earn Your Halo. At the 12 Halo Burger locations in Genesee County, customers will have a chance to make donations to the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan. The Vietnam Veterans of America chapter in Mount Clemens donated $1,000 to the Genesee County chapter to buy bottled water. The Genesee County group delivered several car and pickup trucks loaded with the water at the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan on Wednesday. Dozens of UAW members braved the roads Sunday to help the people of Flint with clean drinking water. UAW members brought a caravan of trucks filled with bottled water to the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan this afternoon. Flint Local 598 was joined by Local 22 out of Hamtramck. The groups helped unload thousands of bottles of water for the Flint community. They're known around the world for their beer products, but Thursday, Anheuser-Busch made a water delivery to Flint. Local distributor Fabiano Brothers dropped off more than 51,000 cans of drinking water. A major water donation rolled into the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan. It was the first of 5 semi-trucks, courtesy of singer and Academy Award-winning actress Cher. Cher partnered with Icelandic Glacial to make it happen. The first truck was filled with 35,000 bottles.
Having somebody like Cher come with us to do this, and more importantly, with the power of Cher, is getting the word out there, letting the nation and the world know what's going on here, and to help push to get this situation resolved.
Cher's donation total is expected to hit 180,000 bottles. There was a different team of volunteers Friday at the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan. Detroit Lions' Ziggy Ansah, Haloti Ngata, and others dropped by to help load up truckloads of water that will go to the people in Flint.
Yeah, man, it's an honor for us to come here. It's really humbling, and to be able to help the people of Flint. And, me personally, coming from Africa, I know exactly what it means not to have, either clean water or not to have water at all.
They donated 94,000 bottles of water in honor of Ansah, whose number is 94. The Hunger Solutions Center quickly became a place of choice for community events. Nearly 200 meetings were held in the community room. A multitude of organizations, federal, state, and local leaders convened at the food bank to conduct business. President Barack Obama and his team set up command at the Hunger Solutions Center during their visit to Flint to address the water emergency. The president then visited a local school where he addressed the citizens of Flint during a community roundtable meeting. Responding immediately to the Flint Water Crisis, the food bank quickly became a leader in the community's recovery efforts. The Food Bank of Eastern Michigan has played a big role in helping Flint recover from the water emergency. The work being done there has caught the attention of the largest hunger relief organization in the country. The president of Feeding America said Flint may have set the record for the amount of water handed out by a food bank. Now, that's considering huge disasters like Hurricane Katrina and Superstorm Sandy. Matt Knott came to Flint to learn more about the water crisis and the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan's mobile distribution of lead-fighting foods. Knott says food banks are incredible first responders, and the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan has done an admirable job helping Flint. He said one thing the food bank did well was to focus on its prime responsibility of collecting food, water, and overseeing distribution. The Food Bank of Eastern Michigan normally distributes close to 27 million pounds of food a year, and they're going to more than double their distribution in response to the Flint water crisis. 3 community help centers are now open Monday through Thursday in Flint. They're one-stop shops for people to get bottled water, food, personal care items, and health services because of the water emergency. The Resource Recovery Work Group, along with many federal, state, and local organizations, have been involved in making the help centers happen. An official launch was kicked off by reps from PepsiCo and the Food Bank, plus Mayor Karen Weaver, the State Department of Health and Human Services, the C.S. Mott Foundation, United Way, and others. The idea behind the help centers is to switch from crisis mode to recovery mode in responding to Flint's water emergency, which means making sure residents have long-term care.
Everyone reacts in a crisis. Now we're looking for sustainable help until we have the water problem fixed. And that's on its way. There's no question about it.
The Food Bank of Eastern Michigan appreciates each and every one of our community supporters. We are so grateful for all you've done to help us grow. should have to worry about where their next meal will come from or how they'll be able to feed their family. Yet 1 in 6 people face these concerns every day. Every dollar donated to the food bank provides 6 meals for someone in need. With the support of community contributions, the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan continues to grow and change the face of hunger.